I want to thank Rabbi Weinberg for the opportunity to share a few brief reflections as we enter the days of awe. First and foremost, a Shana Tova Umetuka to you all. It is a joy to join with you on our Shabbat morning discussions to share some words and perspectives on anti-Semitism and the urgent issues of our day. Those issues are no less urgent today as we embark upon the new year, and we do so with hope and with promise. Just a week ago, American Jewish Committee issued a call to action for Americans of all backgrounds to engage in the fight against anti-Semitism, because ultimately, anti-Semitism is not just a Jewish problem, it is a societal problem, it is an American problem. So we are going full board in seeking all elements of our society to join in this shared struggle. Educators, government, public officials, corporate leaders, and the list goes on. Each of us has a stake in eradicating the world's oldest hatred, which we well know, is the proverbial canary in the coal mine and a template for all forms of hate. This is the chance to make a difference and to fundamentally move the needle in a positive direction. I'm pleased to share that just days ago, the West Hollywood City Council voted to adopt the IHRA working definition, that is the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance working definition of anti-Semitism. It matters when local government speaks out and puts the fight against anti-Semitism front and center. It will certainly help the Jewish community feel more secure and more safe. So we applaud the WeHo City Council for taking this affirmative, proactive step. As we move forward in the high holidays, there is certainly much to be concerned about, but there are also measures and examples of hope and inspiration. Think about the second anniversary of the Abraham Accords, which we celebrated on September 15th. Who would have imagined a decade ago, or even 5 years ago, that we would see a transformed Middle East, a new day, the dawn of a new era of cooperation between people and between governments. And that is something that we should be very pleased to see and to witness. At the same time, we must hold that proverbial mirror up to our society. Look at Ken Burns' latest documentary that explores and pulls no punches in looking at America's wartime role during the Holocaust, and fundamentally the failure of our government to do what needed to be done to pull out all the stops to try to prevent the tragedy and the genocide against the Jewish people that was unfolding with all the signals there for the world to see. That's a lesson we must continue to understand and teach, and we will as we go forward. A word also about the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And our family, like so many of you, I'm sure, were riveted to the proceedings of the last 10 days. In some ways, the adherence and fealty to ritual felt a little bit Jewish. The traditions of mourning leading to what now is the private mourning of a very public family. But I was struck by one of the stories among many that was shared and amplified about Her Majesty over this last week or so. And that was the reflection of Lord Jonathan Sacks, Rabbi Sacks, Olav Shalom, the former chief rabbi of the UK, in speaking about the love and the reverence and the respect that Her Majesty had for survivors of the Holocaust. And one particular moment, a gathering of several Holocaust survivors that was scheduled to last maybe an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours at the most. Queen Elizabeth stayed for several hours to spend that time, to connect with, to hear from, to empathize with those heroic souls who had survived the greatest evil of the 20th century. And so, that too is something that we can be sanguine about and know that the royal family does care and does include and does take counsel from their Jewish subjects, as it were. And so this is a little bit of a quick around the world message of greeting, a message of hope for the new year. A final word. We are moving toward a very consequential election season. We are in the run-up to a very important opportunity to vote and uphold, God willing, the principles, reaffirm the foundations of our very democracy. And so I encourage each of you to vote, to exercise that privilege and that responsibility of citizenship, and really to vote like our democracy depends upon it, because it does. And with that, I thank you again for this opportunity just to share a few random thoughts as we move forward in this season of hope and renewal. May it be a year of sweetness and goodness for us all, and may you each be inscribed in the book of life. Shana Tova, and thank you.